Hey y'all, it's Tim Miller from the Bulwark, and in the first week of Kamala Harris's campaign, the Republicans have been exactly who we thought they were. And I wanted to do a rundown for you of the racist and misogynist and just downright gross attacks that we've seen from these guys since Kamala Harris presumed her spot at the top of the Democratic ticket. All right, let's take a look. I think we should start with the grossest one, huh? Over on Fox Business. Who's watching Fox Business? I don't know. But over on Fox Business, a guy, well, let's just watch.
Yeah, and then there's the DEI press secretary telling you that the DEI vice president is the future of the party here. And so the future looks kind of dim for the Democrats here, but this is no shocker either. Kamala Harris, she's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got where she is. And the party's going downhill if it's in her hands.
That was tough. That was harsh.
If you don't know about Haktua Girl, well, I'm jealous of you, but don't Google it, probably. It is, about the most childish thing you could possibly say about the woman that is now leading the Democratic ticket to be the leader of the free world. And there you go. That's what's happening on Fox. These guys can't help themselves. Then you had Sebastian Gorka. Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Doesn't actually do any medical work, but Dr. Gorka, as he demands to be called, because, overcompensating for something. Here's what he had to say about the vice president.
This woman, this disaster whose only qualification was having a vagina and the right skin color, this woman in the Democrat primaries, I'm not talking about an election, in the Democrat primaries garnered
Sebastian, let me interrupt you. Sebastian, let me interrupt you. That's pretty unkind language about the vice president. This is an accomplished lawyer and senior politician, and the vice president of your country. Do you wish to take back that rather sexist remark?
No, I don't. It's a statement of fact. She is the DEI hire. She's the diversity, equity, inclusion hire.
Colored is not really in vogue here in America. Maybe because Dr. Gorka is a foreign national. He's not up to speed on that, but probably it's just he's an asshole, and that's a racist dog whistle. And then you had the House Republicans. Can always count on the House Republicans. Mike Johnson had to put out a memo, I guess, that essentially told the members of his conference that they shouldn't engage in race-based attacks on the vice president. It's not a great sign if you're part of an organization and the head of it sends out a "don't be racist" memo. At healthy organizations, at diverse organizations, at organizations with grown-ups that treat each other with respect, there doesn't need to be a "don't be racist" memo sent out. That's kind of implicit. But clearly that did need to happen with the House Republicans, because we had Congressman Tim Burchett out of Tennessee calling Harris a DEI hire.
Biden said, first off, he said he's going to hire a black female for vice president, and he just skipped over. What about white females? What about any other group? When you go down that route, you take mediocrity, and that's what they have right now as a vice president.
So are you suggesting she was a DEI hire?
100%. She was a DEI
hire. We had Burgess Owens saying the same. We had Glenn Grothman out of Wisconsin said the Democrats, quote, have to stick with her because of her ethnic background.
They feel, or a lot of Democrats feel, they have to stick with her because of her ethnic background.
And then when Punchbowl News followed up with Grossman on this, he said, I don't think people view her as black. Unclear what this kind of tubby white man from rural Wisconsin, where he has his expertise on who people view as black and who they view as not black. But clearly that is, not really a argument on the merits. It's not a policy-based critique. I think we're playing some racist games there with Glenn Grothman from Wisconsin. Then you got Trump himself. And, Trump himself can't help himself. And he's out there making up lies about how the vice president couldn't pass the bar exam, which is not true, in a speech in Charlotte earlier this week.
Lousy student. Failed her law exam. Said, that she couldn't pass her bar. She couldn't pass her bar exams. Okay, does anyone know that? They're not going to do. They say that on NBC News. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. Kamala Harris could not pass her bar exams. But she's going to be a great president, right?
He also is intentionally mispronouncing her name, Kamala.
Kamala, 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 Kamala!
Like with the emphasis on the last syllable, which is not how she pronounces it. He knows how to actually do it because he's mentioned this before. But it made one of the fans of this page. We had a great comment from one of the fans of this page. Suggests that if he was going to put the emphasis on the last syllable of Kamala when it's Kamala, then maybe she should do the same and refer to him as Don Old. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's a little bit of a dad joke, but that's not bad. We like dad jokes in politics. And he is old. He's really, really, really old. Like, so old that he's going to be older than Joe Biden is now if he was reelected again during his term. God forbid. And then there's somebody else that I have special contempt for. Harriet Hageman of Wyoming. Now let me tell you about old Harriet. Back in 2016, I was on some conference calls with her because she was a principled conservative who was never Trump. She hated Donald Trump. She hated Donald Trump so much that she went all the way to the convention in Cleveland in 2016 to be part of one of the conscientious objectors, that she wanted to be a faithless delegate to try to beat Donald Trump at the convention. That's where Harriet Hageman was. Fast forward a few years, Donald Trump attempts a coup, and after that insurrection, Harriet Hageman thought, that must be my type of guy, because I just want to be in Congress so bad. And so when her congresswoman from Wyoming, Liz Cheney, showed some gumption, showed backbone, showed principle, and spoke out against Donald Trump's attempted coup, and that caused consternation, that caused anger among the Republican base, among the MAGA cultists. They were looking around for somebody to primary Liz Cheney in Wyoming. And who did they turn to? This woman, Harriet Hageman, who knew better in 2016 and was so desirous to wear that little congressional pin that she sold out everything, all her principles. She sold out everything that she told me she believed back in 2016 to take out Liz Cheney, the one person showing any integrity. Well, I wonder what somebody this void of character thinks about Kamala Harris.
Well, I think she's one of the weakest candidates I've ever seen in the history of our country. I mean, intellectually, just really kind of the bottom of the barrel. And from the standpoint of just who she is and the policies, the positions that she's taken, her failure to do anything in terms of the border, that sort of thing, I think it's just a failure from top to bottom. I think she was a DEI hire, and I think that that's what we're seeing. And I just don't think that they have anybody else. I just think that they're in real disarray.
She thinks that Kamala is the one that is intellectually at the bottom of the barrel and a DEI hire. I'm sorry, Harriet. I think that that's something that we call projection around here. At least Kamala has a modicum of integrity and ability to stand up for themselves instead of the shameful way that you've acted in backstabbing Liz Cheney and now engaging in this basest of racist dog whistling to keep your damn House seat in Wyoming. Anyway, guys, we'll probably be able to do one of these videos every week because there is no end, there's no bottom to the type of disgusting rhetoric these guys are going to be using, targeting the vice president. So we'll be keeping our eye on that, and subscribe to this feed. We'll see you soon.